New Drug today is a Tuesday installment of the program in a very interesting time of the year, obviously, in college and pro football around here. Frangie Carline with you. JJ LaSelva is here as well. Nimnick, the Nimnick family of dealerships, always our sponsor on a Tuesday. We sure appreciate our friends from Nimnick. Billy Nimnick, Lee Nimnick, the whole gang over there. Two great locations. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cassett Avenue. Nimnick Buick GMC is located on Phillips Highway. I got thinking about this today. It's not a house money game. There never are. I mean, it's not house money. But because at least some folks like me were hoping for no less than 2-2 in this stretch for the Jaguars that included at San Francisco, home against the Chiefs, home against the Seahawks, the Rams in London. The world doesn't come to a crashing end if they lose the second time in a row. I'm not saying it's not house money. That's not my point. But if they win that game, if you get to 5-2 at the break, and now you get your catch your breath break, and now the schedule, at least on paper, gets easier, man, that's pretty good. I just got thinking about that today. That 4-3, you're fine. You know, it's a long season left, and you get to 5-2. You get to 5-2 against the schedule they've played, and you now catch your breath, and now the schedule on the other side, at least on paper. Boy, that'd be pretty good for 7. You know that? I mean, I know everyone's disappointed they didn't win Saturday or Sunday. Ooh, that'd be a good first 7.
Without a doubt, because they still have 5 games where they're going to be a sizable favorite, in my opinion, unless they get ravaged with injuries. But you got 2 against the Titans, 1 against the Cardinals, 1 against the Jets, and there's another one, well, the Raiders. So if you can beat the Rams to get to 5 wins, well, you've got a very clear path to 10 wins, and that's if you really don't beat another team of consequence. And so it's a big win Sunday. I would agree if they lose, it's not overly detrimental. Obviously, it'll be disappointing, but the Rams are gonna wind up with 12 wins. I mean, the Rams are a very good team. If they can stay healthy, they have a lot of great pieces on that roster. But if you can win it, boy, the path really starts to open up, and I think it's all out in front of them. So I expect that they'll play well. They're used to playing over there, and I think that matters.
I do too.
And again, I think the Rams are making a mistake leaving as late as they are. So I'll be curious to see in the fourth quarter which team looks fatigued. My bet is if one of them does, it'll be the Rams.
Yeah, and for people that don't know what Hayes is talking about, if you follow the story, the two teams are polar opposites in how they're treating this trip. The Jags left yesterday. They got there this morning, and so they will practice at this place called The Grove. It's a beautiful resort with a wonderful football field there for practice. Some of the Jaguar fans in London can come out and see parts of the practice this week. It's a really fun setting, and those of us that have been there, you've been there. We've stayed there. It's a really fun setting, and it's a good week. It's a long week, but Liam wanted to get the team out there, get acclimated, get comfortable to where you are before you play in the game. The Rams couldn't have done it any differently. They're literally traveling on Friday, not Thursday, which is what teams typically do. They're traveling on Friday from Baltimore. They traveled to Baltimore from Los Angeles, obviously, played the game against the Ravens, won the game 17-3. They're staying in Baltimore and practicing all week, flying on Friday. I guess Friday night, because you want to fly through the night.
Right.
That's what teams want to do. So I assume Friday night, you get there at 7 or so on Saturday morning. And again, what they tell you is try and stay awake. Try not to go to sleep right away. Sleep on the plane if you can. Stay awake if you can. Then fly Saturday night, play the game. They'll treat the game like it's a 9:30 game. In London, it's a 1:30 game, but they'll treat or a 2:30 game, whatever it is. So, but they'll treat the game like it's I guess it's a 1:30 game, but they'll treat the game like it's a 9:30 game still and fly back. So, to your point, two teams could not be doing it any more differently. So it'll be interesting to your point, to see which one benefits the most.
Without a doubt, because some coaches believe your sleep is not so much the night before the game that's important. It's the 2 nights before the game sleep. And that's going to be a bad night of sleep for the Rams, you would think, because they're going to be on an airplane.
Yeah.
So, it's obviously Sean McVay doesn't subscribe to that. He must feel like, look, if they get a good night's rest Saturday, they'll be fine. But yeah, I think the Rams are better. I think they're the better team. But I do think the game being in London gives the Jaguars a significant advantage because, yes, this is a first-year coaching staff, and there are some first-year Jaguars, but a lot of the key players in this game going and playing a game in London is not anything out of the routine for a lot of the Jaguar veterans. And so I do think it's an advantage. And I think the way the Rams are doing it could certainly show up from a fatigue standpoint.
All right, two issues to talk about. Number one, no Devin Lloyd. We said yesterday on the program, I said this on the show, I had no idea what they were going to do, but I think I told you on the program yesterday before knowing this what they were going to do, I'd keep him off the plane. You got an off week coming up. It's one game. You got an off week after that. So you can go 3 weeks between Sunday games if you don't play him. So don't play him. If you're not playing him, why make him travel? And, you know, if he's got a leg injury of some sort, he got the calf. If he's got a leg injury, why be on a plane for 8 hours and then 8 hours again? So I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, stay here, get your treatment. You got 3 weeks in between games. But now Ventrell Miller plays. What effect in your mind does that have?
I'll be interested in seeing if they go to more of like the 3 safety look against the Rams and maybe try to steal some of those snaps, because I do think if Ventrell will be good when Kyron Williams is running the ball, and
that's when he's at his best.
Yeah, so I mean, but when it becomes an iffy down, I'll be curious to see if Campanile really tries to hide Ventrell, and when I say hide, just not have him in the game, and maybe go with the 3 safety look. So you're still, you would think, pretty good in coverage, but can also at least somewhat have a pulse against the run. So, again, I'll be interested in seeing how it unfolds, but that could be a solution to getting around not having Devin Lloyd if they're worried about how Ventrell Miller would hold up in coverage, and I can see why they would be.
And by the way, I think what you said is what they're going to do. I think Ventrell, by the way, will blow up a run game. If Ventrell sniffs it out, he might be the hardest hitter on the football team. I mean, he might be the most explosive defensive player they've got. I mean, he's that guy. But he gets lost in coverage some. He'll tell you that. They'll tell you that. So what you said is the concern. So maybe he's a 2-down player, and they go to the 6 defensive backs with an extra safety. That might be exactly what they do, Hazen. That makes all knowing their personnel and how he likes to play. That makes all the sense in the world. But we'll see. But I think Ventrell will make some big plays. One thing about Ventrell Miller, he brings an energy. They are, and I've been told this, not just what we see, that there's an energy in the huddle and there's an energy among the 11 players on that side of the ball when he's in the game, almost more than anybody on the team. He's the hyped up guy. That's just who. If you know Ventrell at all, he is fired up. He's fired up when he goes to dinner. He's fired up when he wakes up in the morning. That's who he is. That's what his personality is, and so and probably, and you know what, might hurt him in coverage sometimes because explosive guys maybe overcommit, right? So, but it'll be fun to watch him. The other question I've got for you is Greg Newsome. What do you? I didn't expect him to play much last week. You and I had that talk during the week. I thought he'd play a little. I thought he'd play maybe more than he did. I think everybody was a little shell shocked. He went in the game, they went right at him, they hit the play. I felt bad for Greg. He was a little shell shocked, went back in after that, but then didn't go in again. My guess is we'll learn. We'll learn. They'll learn a lot more about what he brings this week in practice when they're practicing at the Grove all week long. But I would think you would hope that Greg Newsome is now able to play a good deal of the game against the Rams.
I would hope. I mean, otherwise, why'd you make the move? I mean, a big part of this is, well, we like Newsome better than Campbell. All right. Well, Campbell was playing every snap.
Correct.
So, there could be some acclimation. I would have played Newsome more than they played him Sunday. But I certainly would play him every snap this Sunday. I mean, and again, you've traded for a guy that's in a contract year. He's playing on a 5th-year option. The whole idea of that is you're getting a very motivated player.
Right.
Why would you then basically sit him for 2 games when you know he's fighting for his next deal? So I would expect Greg Newsome to play a ton in this game. I don't think they'll hold it against him. Again, Darnold threw that ball about as well. I mean, he could have had great coverage.
Right.
And it's still a touchdown.
It's a really good
I mean, he couldn't have placed the ball better into Smith and Jigba's hands.
And to your point, I understood last week. I mean, he just got here. You do have to know the defense. You have to know the calls. They have to be instinctive. The Jags do a lot of different things with their coverages. They don't just go out there and play vanilla. So I understood last week. You can't automatically get off the plane on Thursday, go to practice on Friday, and they always say defense has to be reactive. You can't be thinking. And so I got that. But to your point, you would hope this week, he's had a whole week now. He's had a week to rep it and rehearse it, and so hopefully he plays. They do like Montaric Brown. I will say this, that he's part of what made this deal doable or necessary, if I can use that word, is Montaric Brown had made up some ground on Tyson Campbell. I can tell you definitively. I was told that he'd made up a lot of ground. You were going to see Tyson Campbell some of the game. If they had not made the trade, it wasn't going to be, I'm sorry, you were going to see Montaric Brown some of the game. It wasn't going to be Tyson Campbell every snap. It wasn't. I can tell you that. So I think the fact that Montaric made up some ground on him had something to do. So we'll see what they do. So what happens with Ventrell Miller? What happens with Greg Newsome? The Jags, what happens as they travel differently? A lot of storylines. We'll talk more about that today. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. A lot of things going on, certainly, with the Jaguars. Can't wait to get there. I leave on Thursday. Hayes and Hacker will hold it down the rest of the week. I'm excited about Jags-Rams. I love that trip over there, and I can't wait to talk more football. We'll take a break. When we come back, I'm going to get to the Billy Napier situation. Rumors are out there. I'll try and clear up some of those, where that thing's headed now. I got a lot of thoughts since we did the show yesterday. That's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Hey, folks, you're looking for a dealership that actually makes car buying easy? Well, let me tell you why Nimnick Buick GMC is the place to shop. At Nimnick, you're going to find unbeatable prices, a huge selection of Buicks and GMCs, plus flexible financing that works around your budget. So whether it's a new SUV, a work-ready truck, or a certified pre-owned, they really do have you covered. They back it up with trusted service and transparent deals. So don't wait. Browse all their inventory online at nimnickbuickgmc.com, or you can visit their showroom right off of Phillips Highway. It is a beautiful showroom, really nice people that will treat you right. But the bottom line is this: if you get prices, if you get selection, and you get really good people handling the service, why would you go anywhere else? And I can tell you, I'm not going anywhere else. So who gives you the best deals and stands behind it to make sure it's a better experience? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. We are professional grade GMC.
What could Jacksonville do better? Find out from one of our best ever as David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Monday from 10 to noon. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. South State has helped our businesses and charity grow and thrive. Whether you're expanding your operations, managing cash flow, or planning for the future, South State Bank offers forward-thinking, tailored solutions to meet your unique business needs. With expert guidance and best-in-class service, South State is here to help you move your business forward. Visit southstatebank.com or stop by your local branch today. Let South State become your partner in taking your business to the next level. That's South State Bank, member FDIC.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
If you have cane fever, you'll get your weekly dose of Miami football on the Hurricane Report.
I'm JJ LaSelva. This season, I'll keep you close to Coral Gables with the Hurricane Report on 1010XL.
Proudly protected by Performance Painting.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Pizza to T here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes through in the clutch? From lunch to late night, only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Stick around after the sunset, and Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Come on, somebody.
Hey, Jags fans, Tommy Mack here. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
I'm Amber Frangie. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. Call them at 844-346-1800. That's Awaken 180.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident, and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season is finally here, and with that, hopefully comes cooler weather. And if you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space and just haven't pulled the trigger, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures right now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business. Give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Hi, we thank our friends from the Nimnick family dealership. Nimnick Chevrolet is over there on Caston Avenue. They've been there since 1941. The newer location is the Nimnick Buick GMC. It's been there a while, too. Beautiful car dealership on Phillips Highway. There's a reason Nimnick's been selling cars in this market for so long. They're good folks. They know what they're doing. You can trust them during the sale, before the sale, and after the sale. They stay in touch with you. They make sure you like what you got. No one's selling you a bill of goods at Nimnick. If they were, they wouldn't have done it for so long in this market. I can promise you that. Nimnick Chevrolet on Caston Avenue, Nimnick Buick GMC on Phillips Highway. That's the place to go if you need a car, a truck, an SUV, I promise you. Frangie and Carline, JJ LaSelva with you. By the way, you clearly were jealous of me last week.
Yes.
When I threw up a 1-7.
I was insanely jealous.
You tried to match it.
I did my best.
I think you came in at 2-6.
It was brutal.
Brutal
week.
Here's what happened on the First Coast here in Jacksonville, Florida, right here in Duval. JJ LaSelva, who hails from down there in Marion County,
I do.
stormed to the championship in Loser Monday. Okay,
I really was the loser of the year by far.
He was the loser of the year. And he's going to win the picks contest by about the same way. I mean, he's running and hiding from us. You realize that, don't you?
He's having a great
year.
I can play defense.
Yeah, exactly. Four corners, just hold the ball.
Absolutely.
I mean, JJ, I'll go through the specifics tomorrow. We do our picks tomorrow instead of Thursday or instead of Friday because I'm leaving. But JJ's got a 44-35-32 lead over us.
Wow.
I just got to say this, Jalen Daniels, clean it up, bro.
Yeah. Well, we all had
Can't
him.
fumble there. I know, but still.
Yeah, that was a bad fumble.
He's a perfectionist.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is. JJ is 35-21.
So much so
up.
that he picked Billy Napier to win a big road game.
That was
good point.
Foolish.
He is 35-21. I'm 30-26. You're a smooth 24-32.
Yeah, it's not been good.
Okay,
Wow.
and again, as I pointed out about myself last week, that's not against the spread.
Yeah,
that's just straight up 24 and 32.
There will be firings coming if this does not improve.
If not already.
They're talking to the
you have
Bullgators.
people on the hot seat. There's no question. So
we've had to shake things up already.
If you thought the buyout for Franklin was expensive.
I took away the ping pong table.
Well, that'll change
I've
everything.
taken away the coffee.
What about the axe? The axe is
if we have another bad week, the fobs aren't going to work.
Has there been a players-only meeting?
They're going to have to meet in the parking lot. They're not going to have access to the building.
Oh, the fobs won't work.
Which I heard has been another problem at other places.
Yeah. I actually can attest personally.
Yes.
As a matter of fact. So that's true. So Hayes is a struggle a little bit there. I just want to point that out.
We're not like overly concerned yet, but we need to pick it up. I'm like John Harbaugh over here. You know, we're like 1-5, but we still see a path.
Well,
There's still a lot of football.
A lot of injuries.
Yeah, you'll catch me easily. If you're going to catch LaSelvi, you might want to get going. That'd be my recommendation.
I realize that.
I mean, my recommendation. So I want to get into the whole Napier thing. I got to think of it. So there's this rumor out there today that they're going to fire him, win, lose. Well, that's stupid.
You can't fire him if he wins.
So obviously that's a silly rumor. But I will tell you this. I think he gets fired after the next loss. I said that yesterday. I'll say it today. I think he's fired after the next loss
because the math is no longer in his favor at that point.
Yeah, if they lose the game to Mississippi State, I think he will be fired Saturday night or Sunday morning. I think you will see a statement from Scott Strickland. And by the way, I want to be clear. This isn't inside information. Someone gave me a tip they're firing him. It's my opinion, but I think they're going to fire him Saturday night or Sunday morning if they lose the game. I would tell you to look for that on your social media.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I think they fire him. If he wins the game, they get 2 weeks off. What if they beat Georgia? Now, stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to beat Georgia.
I think they could beat Georgia.
Well, they certainly played them close a year ago with DJ Lagway not playing as well and then hurt. Okay, so what if they just for the, and I don't think they're going to beat Georgia, but
I don't either. Yeah, but I don't think it's impossible.
But stay with me.
Yeah.
What if they beat Georgia?
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a trip to Kentucky, who is firing their coach, and they've probably cashed it in. Then what?
So you're 5-4.
You're 5-4, 3-2 in the league. You will have won 4 of your last 3, your last 4, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Does it make it harder to fire him then after the 5th loss? I mean,
not in my mind.
Well, no, not what you want. I'm talking about if you're Scott Strickland, who clearly didn't want to fire him.
Yeah, I don't think you can justify. However, he gets there.
I'm with you.
I don't think Scott Strickland can look his fans in the face and say, "I'm bringing a coach back that was 7-5 in his 4th year and is barely." Would 7-5 even put him? Would it put him over 500 for his tenure at Florida? It'd probably be very close to it. And I just don't think he's had 4 years. All 4 years have been a disappointment to some level, and to me, going 7-5, even against a brutal schedule, a historically hard schedule, I just don't think you can justify it. Yeah. So, no, if he wins out, I think he stays. Yeah. But if he loses one more, I think he's out.
Yeah, and I do too. And here's why. Because if you get you're 2-4. If you beat Mississippi State, then shock the world and beat Georgia, then all of a sudden you're 4-4, and then you beat Kentucky, you're 5-4 and 4-2 in the league. Okay, so it feels like a resurgence. Problem is, we watched that movie last year. If this was your first resurgence, and you weren't yet fired, then you could say, okay, the program has turned the corner. But everybody thought the problem with that thinking is everybody thought it last year, Hayes. So you can't all of a sudden say, wait a minute, he's turned the corner. No, he hasn't. He's still not very good the first month of the season. So.
And you can't trust him to do anything in the offseason because he's basically lied to you before about what he was planning on doing. So you can't believe anything he tells you in terms of, well, I'll hire this guy or I'll hire that or I'll give this up. Yeah, and you can't trust him.
And by the way, even if you shock the world and beat Georgia, and I don't think they will, but for the sake of the conversation, I do think if you beat Georgia, you're probably going to go to Kentucky and win, or you could go to Kentucky and win. You still got at Ole Miss, Tennessee in the next 2 games. I think Tennessee's really good. I've said that from day one. I think Tennessee has a really good team, and so I'd be surprised. So anyway, we'll see. But I just got thinking about it today that I think he loses. I think he's fired after the next loss. I'll say that. And
which I think is Saturday.
And if they lose Saturday and they don't fire him, then I was wrong. But that is my opinion. Is he's fired after the next loss? So assuming
is the game at home on Saturday?
It's at home.
It's a home game.
4:15.
Yeah. And by the way, my prediction will probably be that they're going to win that game. I will probably predict that they're going to win that. I probably will predict that they're going to win that game. But and by the way, as a coin flip, by the way, not they're going to win that. I'm not saying that. But if you asked me to predict that game, my prediction would be they're going to win that game. All right. But if they don't, I think it'll be fired that night. The interesting thing and even if they win, you don't fire him after a win, but I don't think they're beating Georgia, and I think that's the time to do it. What gets interesting to me is if they win and shock Georgia, I then think they will win at Kentucky because then all of a sudden they'll loosen up a little bit, and I don't think Kentucky's very good. And so all of a sudden I'm like, goodness gracious, are we where are we headed here? That's where my head was. Where are we headed? You agree? There's 0.0000001% chance they run the table. But God forbid they ran the table, he stays.
He stays.
There's no denying.
And I mean, honestly, it'd be hard to argue if he,
right.
I mean, as much as I am hoping that this, tenure does end, and I say that I'm not pulling for Florida to lose any of these games.
But it's time. What you're
saying.
But
I feel like we know what he is.
Yeah.
But look, if they're able to run the table, I mean, that'd be beating. Well, you start
Georgia, at Ole Miss, Tennessee, a lot of good teams.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about what, 4 teams that are, or 3 teams that are ranked very high.
You would then have
plus a win over FSU. I mean, that's got to count for something.
Well, you would then have wins against 3 teams who spent time in the top. Well, 4 teams who spent time in the top 5. That's a lot of wins over top 5.
Teams we're talking about going into the playoffs right now.
So if he wins out, then he should come back, regardless of even what would happen in the bowl game.
And it's almost a silly conversation.
It is. I mean, it's like basically saying, is Billy Napier going to design a rocket to go to the moon? Right. Well, we know he isn't.
Yeah, and so,
but I mean, I can't rule it out. If you give him a couple of wires, I mean, I guess there's a feasible chance he could do it.
Yeah, I'm going to need more than 2 wires. Okay, I'm gonna need more time. You're gonna have to spot him 7 or 8 wires for me.
Yeah,
you give me the 7 or 8 wires, and then I'm with you. But again, I just thought about it. If he wins and shocks Georgia, and again, I think Georgia's Georgia's better than they've played. But look, Georgia survived. Georgia survived last week. They got. By the way, did you think the ball was a touchdown or a fumble?
It was a touchdown.
You thought it was a touchdown. What did you think, JJ? Do you think it was a touchdown?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't.
It was close.
I think that if they
really
called
close.
it a touchdown on the field, it would have been a joke.
Yeah,
but because they screwed up the first call, then you had to have that definitive angle, which you sort of did, sort of didn't.
I thought it was
close. But based on just science and how close he was, it was pretty obvious that he was in the end zone. He didn't have to move but an inch.
Yeah, and that would have been
a game changer. Man.
It's 17-0.
Oh yeah,
it's 17-0 if he scores there, and on the road.
Knowing you have to pass.
After you've already lost to Oklahoma,
right?
Where the league admitted they messed something up that led to a Sooners touchdown.
Right.
So Auburn really has 2 losses that they can easily point to the league office and say, "You guys played a big role in us losing these 2 games." And if they go up 17-0 there, then who knows?
But if you're Freeze, you can't let your team just get demoralized after that, which they did.
Right. Well,
and didn't score out.
Well, that's right. Agree. Yeah, that's right. You're going to get bad calls, and it was very close. I mean, it was it was very close. You're going to get bad calls on very close plays. We talk about it with the Jaguars all the time. You got to overcome it. But I do wonder if he'd have scored. And by the way, it probably didn't affect the game that much the way it played out. But the Kirby timeout, non-timeout was hilarious.
Hilarious.
I was clapping. Kirby, we have it's on. The game's on television.
It's not 1965.
The game's on TV. I mean, he said. I mean, that was hilarious.
It is, but it's also a black eye for the SEC.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks like you're protecting Georgia.
It really
because if they'd lost to Auburn, they're out.
Yeah.
And that's one of their teams.
That's one of the teams that they're counting on making it. So it's the SEC does need to do something about that. I commend the ACC for as open as they are and how they handle reviews and things like that. Not that this timeout thing,
but that's
would
great.
have been
the
reviewed.
ACC thing's a blast to watch.
It's
that
great.
Is really they do a great job with it.
The only problem I would say with that is like in the Florida State loss to Pitt. They only had like 1 angle. I was surprised for all the cameras that go to these that they have at these games that you could each
they didn't
time
have a goal line angle.
you could hear them saying, "Well, we don't have that angle, so hang on, what's coming in?"
Yeah.
And it would just be the one thing they had, and so it was. I kind of thought,
but it was cool.
I thought Pitt
cool
got away with intentional grounding, where the ball didn't make the line of scrimmage,
right?
And I think had they had a better angle, it would have been intentional grounding. But so I love the fact that they take you into the conversation, but the SEC could do that, and they obviously have a million cameras, ESPN and ABC covering these games, so you would get those angles that you need. But I mean, it's a problem. I mean, Auburn might fire Hugh Freeze because they've lost 2 games that they easily could have won, had the officials not royally messed something up.
Yeah, I know you're exactly right about that. So it'll be interesting to see. But back to the Florida situation, I now think, to me, there's more clarity. I think he's fired after the next loss.
Yes,
and I think that'll be I don't necessarily think it'll be this week, although I think it could be.
If he loses Saturday, they may not even let him do the press conference.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally may be like, coach isn't meeting with you guys.
Yeah, that's right.
And then 30 minutes later, the press release comes out that he's fired.
And the other thing is, and you don't know if this is correct, but don't you get the sense that we now kind of know that the gap between the three candidates, that it's Kiffin, Signetti, Drinkwitz, and then there's a gap? I almost sense now.
I don't even know who else would be included.
I still think Marcus Freeman is a wild card in it because you just hear from too many people that aren't connected to each other. And now you're even seeing it in the Penn State circles that that Marcus Freeman is looking to get out of South Bend.
Yeah.
Now, again, we'll see if there's any veracity to that, but I would put Freeman's the kind of guy that if he called Strickland and said, I'm interested, I can't imagine
he's a Scott Strickland kind of guy.
Wouldn't listen to him.
Yeah, he's a Scott Strickland kind of guy. We'll take a break. I want to keep it on college coaching for a while because I want to get to some thoughts about FSU as well and some of the other coaches that are out there. Let's keep it on college coaching for a moment. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Hey, Hicken here. Cooler weather right around the corner. So are you ready to float happy in the pool? Listen up. This month, Surfside Pools offering 10% on new pool heaters or heater replacements and installation. That's right. Now is the time to upgrade your pool heating system and extend that swimming season for months of extra enjoyment. Only from Surfside Pools, the trusted name for expert pool service. Family owned and operated. Call 246-2666 or visit surfsidepools.net.
License number CPC 044080.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval, and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
When persistent plumbing problems leave you feeling flushed, don't panic. Call Roland Reich, the one-stop solution for any plumbing problem, residential or commercial. No matter how complex the work, Roland Reich quotes all pricing in advance, so your only surprise is how quickly they'll solve your issue. Whether your pipes are doing a water ballet or you need to hydrojet the whole system, always use Roland Reich Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until October 31st. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, JohnAutomotiveJacks.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
Sometimes you have to take the hammer to yourself, and that is what I am doing today. A couple months ago, I called Kirk Cignetti, the Indiana football coach, a poser and a fraud, and while I still disagree with his comments about SEC non-conference schedules, you cannot deny what Kirk Cignetti is doing at Indiana, and I was wrong. I thought they were good last year, just it was a fluke, and they'd come back to the pack. Obviously, that was not the case. They hammered Illinois. They won at Oregon, snapping the nation's longest home winning streak. Kirk Cignetti is 17-2 at Indiana, a program that is 200 games under 500 lifetime. The Indiana Hoosiers are 516 and 719 lifetime. They are 3-11 in bowl games. And this man shows up and has won 17 of his 19 games at Indiana. It is remarkable. I apologize, Kirk Cignetti. I am the fraud and the poser.
That was awesome. Well said. Not about you, but about your take on Cignetti, and I was right with you, by the way. I think much of America was with you on that, for what it's worth. I don't think you were alone there. All right, so let's look at this for a second. It seems to me that Kiffin, Cignetti, and Drinkwitz are the Florida candidates. I don't sense that Marcus Freeman is. Perhaps he will get there. But I want to, right now, you already have a bunch of jobs that are open. Penn State, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, UCLA, Arkansas, Stanford, Oregon State, all Power 4 jobs. That's a bunch. That's a bunch to have open middle of October. I mean, it really is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 open jobs on October 14th. That's a lot. That is a lot.
Is this going to be a new trend?
Well, that's where I'm going to kind of go here. I wonder, with everything being so immediate, JJ, your fix is immediate because of the portal. Your expectations are immediate because coaches are getting fired faster than ever. I think the immediacy is going to grow, to your question, because that's a good question. So is that where we're headed? Obviously, I just ran off 6 jobs. You know Florida's coming open. There's not much debate about that. I would assume there'll be 2. I don't know that Auburn comes open. I don't think FSU's firing Mike Norvell with $58 million, but I'm not sure of it. If it continues to spiral downward, I'm not sure they're not firing him. So with all these open jobs, who's getting them? That's the question. So Kiffin, Cignetti, and Drinkwitz are the top 3 guys. All right. I'm going to give you the list of all the other names you're going to see somewhere. You'll see Matt Rule only because it's Penn State. He would not be a hot candidate now, except for the fact that he grew up at State College. He's very close friends with the Penn State AD. A lot of people think that's why the AD did it. He's off to a 5-1 start now after some bad years, so now he's hireable. He wasn't hireable. Penn State can't hire a guy that's 2-4 right now. 5-1, they could hire him, so I think he's hireable. But you're going to see Marcus Freeman's name. You're going to see the next wave, Jeff Brom, Kenny Dillingham, Alex Golish, Brent Key, Jed Fish, Matt Campbell, the usual suspects. Are all those guys changing jobs? Yeah, I mean, that's because if it's not one of those, who is it then? Who's getting all these jobs? I think that's the interesting point. We love the coaching carousel, and you plug this guy in here and this guy here. But it's harder than ever because there's so many jobs open and you got your normal suspects. Do you think Kiffin, Cignetti, Drink, Marcus Freeman, Campbell, Key, Golish, Fish, Dillingham, Brom, They're not all changing jobs.
No, well, there's only really Florida and Penn State. I mean, in terms of the jobs,
they're the
where
elite
I think
jobs.
Yeah, but I don't think Drinkwitz isn't leaving Missouri to go to Arkansas.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think Kiffin is leaving anywhere except to go to Florida.
So
based on that,
so who's getting the other jobs? Are they all group of five guys?
Then I think it'll be like the Tulane guys, Summerall.
So that's who gets all these other jobs.
And Golish will probably get
because that's what's interesting.
A job.
Yeah.
But if I'm Brent Key, I wouldn't leave Georgia Tech to go to, UCLA or Arkansas.
Well, in fact, I saw Jed Fish is the guy to watch for the UCLA job. I'm thinking, why would he do that?
I mean, unless he just wants to live in LA.
Unless he doesn't like Washington.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Correct.
And Jed jumps jobs about every 2 years, so maybe it's time.
Maybe that. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. To me, there's two jobs and I'm not even sure Arkansas won't just hire Petrino.
Right.
So, to me, it's a 2-team race. It's Penn State and Florida, and then there's, I think, a slew of teams that are probably going to go more in the smaller D1 level.
Yeah. The two guys that are the hottest guys out there right now are Kiffin and Cignetti. And I think one of the reasons is because Cignetti's just a hot guy now. Whether he stays in Indiana, whether he goes to Penn State, whether he goes to Florida, he has arrived as a very hot name. For whatever reason, he's the hot name. Kiffin's been the hot name because the Florida job's open. If the Florida job wasn't open, you wouldn't see Kiffin as a hot name to go to Arkansas. You wouldn't see Kiffin as a hot name to go to Oklahoma State. I said the Florida job's open. Let me correct myself. It's not open, but it's coming open. The only reason Kiffin, you agree with that? I think the only reason the whole Kiffin documentary showed up, the only reason we're all talking about it, we're all watching him on social, is because we know he looked frustrated the other day with the crowd and whatnot, and the Florida job is going to come open. So if it's not. So other than that, I don't think he'd be moving.
What if something happens at LSU?
Well, okay, then that's different.
Like I would feel like Kiffin's definitely a candidate.
No question,
without a doubt.
Yeah, he absolutely would.
Because I mean, they're underdogs to Vandy this week. If that happens, dude, we're really going to be talking about Brian Kelly.
And he could be a candidate at Auburn, despite the fact that he turned him down before. He could be a candidate at Auburn. But I guess my thinking is it's going to be interesting. I still think if you asked me to bet my money that Lane Kiffin's the next Florida coach. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you think Curt Cignetti is the next Penn State coach, or do you think it's Matt Rule?
I think it's Matt Rule.
I do too. I think if you asked me to bet my money would be Lane Kiffin is the next Florida coach, Matt Rule's the next Penn State coach, and Curt Cignetti doesn't leave Indiana. That would be my three guesses.
Would you leave Indiana for Nebraska if they called? Because 20 years ago you wouldn't have second.
I don't think
but I don't
would.
know that you do.
There's something to the fact that Cignetti built something that's never been there before.
Right.
They've never been good, not in most of our lifetimes. So it's not just he didn't just revitalize Auburn. He took a school that's never good in football and made them good, and there's a charm to that. They'll build a statue for that guy. He's going to have a statue. So I don't know that he leaves. So if I had to bet my money right now, I would bet Kiffin to Florida. I'm like you. I would bet Rule. Now, Cignetti is from Pittsburgh, but he has no ties to Penn State. He played at West Virginia. He's coached 2 or 3 different times on the Pitt staff. He's never been a Penn State guy. He's always been trying to beat Penn State. So if I had to guess right now, I would guess Kiffin. I would guess Marcus Freeman stays put. I would guess Kiffin to Florida. I would guess Rule to Penn State. I would guess, and then I think there's something there with Alex Golish. He's not going to Penn State or Florida. But I think he might be bigger than some of these other jobs. So I think if another job pops open, there could be another job of significance that pops open. I'd keep an eye on him.
And Drinkwitz probably stays in Missouri.
And I think Drinkwitz stays.
Golish could end up at Mizzou replacing Drink.
That's exactly it. Something like that. Something like that. So we'll see. Let's take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Pack your passport. Duval Pride takes a ride for a transatlantic showdown as West Coast meets First Coast for some American football at iconic Wembley Stadium. It's tea time for touchdowns with crumpets and football for breakfast.
Jacksonville Jaguars, Los Angeles Rams.
Cheerio. Sunday morning at 9:30 on 1010XL.
London calling.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline here to let you know about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you'll love new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers. They're as delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You've got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my successful back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Discuss the beautiful game. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Get an hour of soccer talk Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Hey, it's Lauren Brooks. Looking and feeling great isn't just for women. Hello Smooth Med Spa has something for everyone. Laser hair removal, wrinkle smoothing, skincare, and more. With over 400 plus 5-star reviews and over a decade in business, they know their stuff. Book now at hellosmooth.com.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. You know that other Frangie? Well, he's my dad. But I'm here to tell you about how much I appreciate the Awaken 180 weight loss program and how it's changed my life. Like a lot of folks, I let myself go a little. Not proud of that, but it happens. And I wasn't sure what to do. I've tried a lot of other weight loss programs, but they just didn't work. Not like Awaken 180. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. And best of all, really fast results. You eat the food that's provided, and it's really good food. You work with a coach on a regular basis who guides you through the whole process. I'm never hungry. In fact, I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything. Just living a totally normal life. That's my new normal. And now, in October, they're offering free consultations. So there's no reason not to call them and learn more. Call them at 844-346-1800, or you can visit awaken180.com. It really has changed my life, and I bet it'll change yours too. That's Awaken 180.
You deserve something truly exceptional, and that's what you get from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust's 10th Anniversary Jubilee. Come to Tobacco Cove on Saturday, October 18th from 1 to 4 p.m. because you will not want to miss this. From the mind of Steve Saka, Dunbarton offers the taste of perfection. This event features amazing cigars, delightful food, and awesome prizes. Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road. More than a cigar store, it's an experience.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Quality work is sometimes hard to come by these days, and if you want quality in a fence that'll last, make the call to Duval. Duval Fence, that is, a good Jacksonville company with good Jacksonville people committed to quality service. If you need a fence for your home, for a business, anything, just call Duval Fence at 260-4747. Give them an idea of what you're looking for, and they'll take care of the rest. Property fence, privacy fence, pool or pets. Make sure you call Duval Fence today.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here, as is JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars-Rams matchup in London on Sunday. Will the Jaguars be able to get back to running the football?
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll run it better this week than you did last week, and I think they'll be committed to it. I think, listen, it's part of their identity, Hayes. Remember, neither team ran the ball very well in that game last week. I think they'll run the ball better. I think they're comfortable at Wembley, a point you made earlier this week and even earlier today. Yeah, I think they're going to run the ball better. The Rams are good. This is another good team, but I don't think they're quite as physical at the line of scrimmage defensively as the Seahawks are.
We know about, I say that. We're awaiting word on Puka Nacua. We probably won't hear anything until later in the week since the Rams are training here domestically before making the trip. But the Jaguars are over in London, and Devin Lloyd did not make the flight, which meant the team had to go ahead and disclose that. They can't keep that under wraps. So Devin Lloyd ruled out for Sunday's game. How do you think Anthony Campanile will try to manage not having the reigning AFC Defensive Player of the Month?
I think you hit it earlier on the program. I think, number one, Ventrell Miller's a good player. He will blow you up. He's the most explosive player they got. He's a really fast linebacker. He's aggressive, but he sometimes can get lost in coverage. That's the reality. He's a young player, and he'll get better at that. But I would think you'll see that three safety look, that six defensive back look some. When they go to nickel, they'll add it. They like their safeties. So I think you'll see some of that. So I think it's a combination of having Ventrell in the right spots and making sure he's in the right spots and going with an extra safety some. I think that's what you'll see.
Our friends at SpotRack.com does a great job of covering the salary cap implications of the NFL. SpotRack is reporting the Jaguars have converted Greg Newsome's salary into a signing bonus, opening up significant cap space. The Jaguars now have $12 million in space, so another deal is likely coming.
I would think. I would look. The one thing we've learned about this whole Baselli, Gladstone, Cohen regime is they're not afraid to make deals, and they like to make deals. I mean, they've made the biggest deal of the draft in years. They've made in-season deals already. They made their first player-for-player in-season deal ever for this franchise. Yeah, I would think there's some areas. I don't know, but the obvious area is defensive tackle, I would think. I would think that's an obvious area. They just lost a really good tight end. That makes some sense. You're always looking for defensive backs. You play a lot of those guys. They don't have depth at receiver. They've got good receivers, but they don't have a lot of depth there. So there's a lot of spots. If you think about it, just common sense tells you there's a lot of areas where they could go get another guy. So I would almost be surprised if there's not another deal.
Without a doubt. The Titans have named Mike McCoy interim coach after firing Brian Callahan yesterday. The former Chargers head coach worked in Jacksonville under Doug Peterson.
Yeah, he was the quarterback's coach, and he was got very close with Trevor Lawrence in these last 3 years. He's a good coach. He was a good coach in San. He was a coordinator in Denver, which got him the San Diego job. I think it was San Diego at the time. Got him the Chargers job, and then he wound up here. So Mike's a calming influence. I can tell you, a lot of times Doug Peterson and coaches would want Trevor to spend time with Mike because he's a calming influence, and that'll probably have the same effect they hope on Cam Ward.
Lions defensive back Brian Branch suspended for one game for inciting a brawl at the end of Detroit's loss at Kansas City Sunday night.
Yeah, and his claim was that Juju Smith-Schuster blocked him in the back, and the officials let it go. Well, you saw the video. He probably did. It happens every day in the NFL. It happens every play in the NFL. Branch has to be better than that. I'd be shocked if that – I know he's appealing it, but I'd be shocked if that suspension got lifted.
I agree. Let's get it to college football. Does the SEC have an officiating problem? Auburn really got hosed again, this time in the loss to Georgia.
I don't know that officiating is any different than it's ever been. I will say this year there are more, both college and pro, really close ones, man. I mean, you're trying to bring in replay to fix stuff. You said you were pretty convinced that was a touchdown for Auburn. I guess if I had a bet, I'd say that. Man, I thought it was close. There have been some really, really close ones. So, and I don't watch the other conferences, full disclosure, if I'm being honest, as closely as I do the SEC. I watch the ACC when FSU's playing, and I watch the SEC when Florida's playing, and then I watch the SEC other times. I like the SEC. So I almost sense that it's a hard game to officiate. I don't know that I'm going to go, it's a problem. Yeah. Do the do the good teams get good calls because officials subconsciously want to see one of their good teams in the playoffs? Yes. But that's not just an SEC team. I think that's every conference. I think that's human nature. You're not doing it on purpose. But I've covered college football like you have a long, long time, and I think that's always been the case.
Let's get to Major League Baseball. Dodgers pitcher Blake Snell dominated the Brewers as LA takes Game 1 in Milwaukee 2-1. Snell worked 8 innings, allowing 1 hit, and he picked that guy off to face the minimum through 8. Game 2 tonight at 8.
JJ, he was as good. He was as good as I've seen a pitcher in a playoff maybe ever.
I heard a stat today that was like he at one point, because he went on a streak of getting out like a million guys in a row.
Yeah.
And I think that it was only him, Larson, and Halladay that have ever done that in the playoffs. And of course, they had a perfect game and a no-hitter.
And that stat says it better. He's been amazing, really has.
The Mariners have steamrolled in Toronto to take a 2-0 lead on the Blue Jays. Seattle rocked Toronto 10-3 last night. The Mariners hit 3 home runs and are now 2 wins away from finally reaching a World Series. Seattle is MLB's lone team that has never reached the Fall Classic.
Yeah, and JJ, you said that yesterday. They're not only really good, but they're feeling it. The most dangerous team in any sport is a team that's good, and they're feeling it.
And they went on a run to end the regular season, like the last month or so, to really run away with that division. And, of course, the 15-inning game. And so now, like, they got to be really high on themselves. Only 3 teams in the history of the baseball playoffs have ever lost the first 2 games at home and went on to win the series. That's not happening.
Yeah,
Seattle is going to the World Series.
Seattle's headed to the World Series. I agree.
How about that? Let's get to college basketball. The media picks Florida to win the SEC. Alex Condon received first-team honors. It's the 3rd time since 1989 Florida has been picked number 1. They won the league both previous occasions. Thomas Houck, Boogie Fland were second-team nominations. So the Gators have 3 of the best 10 players in the league, according to the media that covers the league. Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Arkansas round out the top 5. Georgia checked in at 14.
It's a great league. There's no question. That is a really great league. And I saw the AP poll where Purdue and Houston are both ahead of Florida. I must have missed it last year when the tournament I was at, Florida won. And they returned most of their guys, but
must have been when you were in the bathroom.
I must have been in the bathroom. The game I saw, they beat Houston, but what do I know?
That's what I was going to get to next. The AP preseason top 25 is out, and Florida is 3rd behind Purdue and Houston.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah, I must have missed it.
I mean, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, well, Florida.
I mean, not that it matters, but I mean, Florida is the one that's going to be holding the scissors when it's time to cut down the net. So a preseason poll doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
but what are you thinking?
Well, and I think this too. I understand everyone's got different opinions, but when you return your entire front court and get 2 of the most talked about portal guards in the portal, they, out of respect, they should have been number 1. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's number 1. Out of respect, they won the damn title. They have their whole front court back, and they got by getting Xavier Lee and getting Boogie Fland, they got 2 of the most prominent guards. The one thing they lost in the portal. Out of respect, they should be number 1. If I was an AP voter, I'd have voted them number 1, not because I'm some Florida homer. Out of respect for what they did and what they have coming back.
Without a doubt, we will get you out on today's musical nugget. Today marks the 48th anniversary of David Bowie's 12th studio album, Heroes, being released. This is the title track, of course. Bowie sold over 100 million albums in his career. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1996. He died in 2016, but thankfully we still have this great music left behind.
Boy, that's a guy that went way too soon.
Yeah.
We'd be listening to David Bowie for a long time. You know that? Way too soon. Well done as always. We appreciate that. Hour 2 is next. Jeff Dantzler joins me in about 20 minutes. When Hayes and I come back, we'll talk some NFL. Stay with us.
We'll drive them away.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. You know I've been battling to get my lawn lush green all year. Well, I finally made the decision to get it top dressed, and it's already starting to look like a golf course fairway. Topdressing.com has a proprietary truck and equipment. They aerated my lawn like the golf course pros do. I'm talking white glove service. They cleaned it up like they were never there. If you want a smooth, lush, dark green lawn, do what I did. Call 888-850-1850. and top dress your lawn like a pros with topdressing.com.
John Osher knows Jacksonville football like Jack's Beach knows the ocean. That makes two of us. Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served up by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft on 1010XL.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst in St. Augustine at 904-940-9740.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rollie.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach. Now, the Hurricane Report. Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
The number 2 ranked Miami Hurricanes got to enjoy some rest and relaxation after a bye week. The Canes are off to a 5-0 start, but their next game is tricky against Louisville on Friday night at 7 o'clock. The Canes are currently 14-point favorites. Miami won last year's matchup in a wild one, 52-45. The Hurricane Report brought to you by Performance Painting.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask. So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by JEA. The defending national champion Florida Gators come in at number 3 in the preseason AP Top 25 poll, only getting edged by number 1 Purdue and number 2 Houston. Gators season is right around the corner as they are set to take on the 13th-ranked Arizona Wildcats in the Hall of Fame Series in Las Vegas on Monday, November 3rd at 7 p.m. It's 81 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Now we thank our friends from Nimnick, my favorite car dealership. Been buying my cars there since 1982. That's a true story. First car I ever bought was from Billy Nimnick Jr., God rest his soul, showed me how to buy cars and looked out for me the whole time, and now his son Billy III runs the place, and they do a wonderful job. Nimnick Chevrolet is on Cassett. Nimnick Buick GMC is on Phillips Highway. Nimnick is the name to know. Nobody but Nimnick treats you the way they do. So head to Nimnick today. Interesting start to the NFL season. Does it seem like, the Bills look like the best team, and now they can't get out of their way. I thought that was a weird game last night.
They got dominated, I thought.
They totally got outplayed last night. From the jump, they got outplayed.
Yeah.
The Commanders, they get Daniels back, and he has the big fumble. And does it seem? It almost seems like not total parity, but it's an interesting start to the league, big picture for me.
I think without a doubt. Look at the top of the conference in the AFC. The Colts have the best record at 5-1. I don't think that lasts. In fact, I think they're getting ready to lose 3 of their next 4. And so I think you're going to see Indianapolis fall out. Pittsburgh's 4-1. I don't think that's going to be sustainable. I think they're going to take a step back. And then the converse of that is I still think the Ravens are going to have some life if they can get healthy at 1-5. I think if anybody can bounce back and get hot, it's Baltimore if they get Lamar Jackson back in prime form. The Chiefs have already woken up, and they're getting Rashee Rice back. So they're at 3-3, but I think incredibly dangerous over these next 11, what they can do. And so, yeah, it's a little topsy-turvy. Like the Patriots right now lead the AFC East. Who
what about
thought
that? I
that
guess
was
that's
coming?
yeah.
And they're going to win Sunday. They're playing the Titans, so they'll get to 5. And then in the NFC, Baker Mayfield is such an incredible story. If you had to vote for it today, it'd be hard not to vote him for MVP with what he's doing. His receiving core is completely decimated, and he is still going out there doing wonderful things. Obviously, we'll get to that in the NFL Rewind coming up. But yeah, in looking at it, the Eagles have lost a couple in a row. Can San Francisco get healthy? It seems like they're going to get Kittle back. It seems like this week. It looks like Brock Purdy's trending to return, but they just lost Fred Warner. So defensively, what will they be? It's really interesting right now. I think it's hard to say. We thought Green Bay after the first 2 weeks would be great. They lost to Cleveland, and defensively, I'm not impressed at all with what the Packers are putting out there. So, it's definitely anybody's race.
Did you see the Tez Johnson quote after the touchdown?
About the MVP. Yeah.
Did you see that? Tez Johnson says, I got to tell you all a story. I scored a touchdown, and they started yelling MVP, MVP. And I went to Sterling Shepard. I went to Sterling and goes, man, they were yelling MVP. So he goes, dude, they were talking about Baker.
He's like, I haven't been very good this year.
He said, I haven't done anything this year. The way he told the story.
It was charming.
He said Sterling goes,
they're a fun team.
No, they were talking about Baker, so that was really fun.
They're
a fun team.
They're an easy team to cheer for.
They really
Todd
are.
Bowles
I agree with
good
that.
Dude,
I agree with you.
Baker Mayfield is.
I think they follow Baker's lead.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
He's
who. That's exactly right.
He's like I said. Hard to argue he's not the most valuable player in this league right now. He is carrying Tampa Bay.
Yeah. So interesting start to the NFL season. We'll wrap up the NFL weekend coming up. Hayes has the rewind coming at the bottom of the hour. But after this break, Jeff Dantzler joins me to talk SEC football. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Every Friday in the fall is Pregame Friday.
Is this what I think it is? Yes, it is.
We'll get you ready for the games. Who's in, who's out.
This is what I'm talking about.
Built by Dream Finders Homes. Homes built to fit your lifestyle on 1010XL.
Frangie here. When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. They're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations and full air conditioning service, they do it all. And with Duck Duck, it's done right. Call 904-862-6769 or visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. If the Jags trust Duck Duck Rooter, so can you.
One man, one hammer. One place to hear it drop. Hammer Time with Hayes, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
Hey, it's Brent with our Cosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Our Cosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Ackerman Cancer Center offers women's health, diagnostic, and screening services, including contract-enhanced mammography and total body MRI. Early detection is the key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Are you struggling with hair loss? At IHRS, we understand because we've been there too. We're dedicated to finding the best solution tailored just for you.
My hair looks great. It was thinning, and IHRS restored my hair.
It's now fuller, it's thicker, voluminous. It's made me feel great.
With the latest technology and FDA-approved laser therapy, PRP, and non-surgical hair addition, we offer guaranteed solutions for men and women.
With over 35 years of experience, IHRS found a hair restoration for us, and we can find one for you.
For me.
For me.
And me too.
Visit hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. Get a free microscopic analysis and get to the root of your problem. This $395 analysis is yours for free. Call 904-777-4477 now.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $3,600 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
San Jose Collision is hiring for an automotive detailer and porter. If you're detail-oriented, dependable, and love working with cars, apply in person at San Jose Collision in Mandarin. Valid driver's license required.
Hicken here. Celebrate the spooky season with Zero Res. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139, plus a free haul, and take 15% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
Hey, Jags fans, Tommy Mack here. Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with Crown Royal Rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with generous spirit. Visit crownroyal.com/Royal Rig on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Time now for the SEC Update with Jeff Dantzler from the Bulldog Radio Network and the Superstations. Presented by Underwood Jewelers. Here's Frank and Jeff.
All right, let's talk a little SEC football. We appreciate our friends at Underwood Jewelers. Jeff, where'd you get the great ear for music? You're too young to know all that good old stuff. What happened? I'm very impressed. I got to tell you that.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I try and do a post every day of just a song I like. I like all genres from Frank Sinatra to Led Zeppelin to the Beatles to 80s first wave, 60s rock and roll, you name it.
All right, I love it. I mean, at first I started reading some of them and said, I don't like that. I don't like that. Now, but then you got hot. You got a hot streak going, Jeff. So well done, buddy. Let's get to some SEC football. Georgia-Auburn, what a game. You had to be a little nervous. Georgia fans a little nervous. The Dogs find a way to win that game. You thought it would be a nail-biter, and for a while it was, Jeff.
Yeah, it really was, and I think it was beyond a little nervous. I think since the Kirby dynasty started in his second year, he would probably tell you that might have been the worst half of football Georgia had played. But in the end, on the play with the fumble, that just seemed to swing everything. I believe the total yardage at that point, Georgia had 20 yards, and Auburn was around 230 or 240. And then it was nearly a complete script flip in the second half. It's amazing how that game turned, and Kirby is among the many things he's great at. He's the master at adjustments, but it would also be the first to tell you these slow starts Georgia's getting off to, that is living very dangerously in this league.
Now, Jeff, you host Kirby's show, right, during the week?
We do. We tape daily shows, so I'm with him every Monday, and we do his pregame show before kickoff. Yes. Okay. So I'm with him every Monday.
So you were with him yesterday. Was he really not calling timeout? I need an answer from you right now. I want to know.
No, here's what happened. No, he was calling a timeout, but was also going up because Auburn had a defensive back who was clapping to mimic the snap count. And that's where when he was clapping, because as you know, you can't do that. The defensive players can't come up and start clapping, especially at a stadium that loud when that's what you're going off of. So the clock was winding down, and yes, he was calling a timeout, but at the same time he was saying, hey, they're clapping back there mimicking our snap count.
That was the clapping.
It was both. Yes, correct.
Interesting. He kept clapping, and that's what the clapping was. Interesting stuff. Let's move along. Alabama beats Missouri. Mizzou hung around in that game, Jeff. I got to be honest. I thought Alabama would roll Missouri. They did not. They beat them. They didn't roll them. I was impressed, and I know Eli Drinkwitz, to his credit, came out and said, listen, it's not about moral victories. We were trying to win the game. But that was a better game than I think I expected it to be.
Yeah, and Ty Simpson, I thought, was really good for Alabama. I mean, he has just been terrific here ever since that Florida State game. Missouri's just one of those teams. As we said, Frank, they're that Midwest tough. There's just a different feel to it there. They were able to create a turnover. They're just never an easy out. And, they're one of those teams, as we talked about at the end of the year, they're going to be 6 or 7 teams that's sitting around that 9-3. I think they have the ability to be one of those teams.
Texas beats Oklahoma. That one surprised me a little bit. I wonder if John Mateer shouldn't have played in the game. He's a gamer, which I like, but you could tell the hand was bothering him. Then he got hit in the game. I wonder, Jeff, if he made a mistake in even playing in that game.
Completely agree, especially when you look at the way, and I get it the week before it was against Kent State, but completely agree with you the way the backup looked the last time out, because the last thing you want to do as a guy who is playing as well as anybody in college football in that position is to come on and do something to further injure himself and to maybe even lose some confidence there. But that was a huge bounce-back win for Texas.
All right, let me ask you from afar. Obviously, we're right here in Gator Nation. We talk about it all the time. So sometimes when you're in a vacuum, you want to talk to someone from afar to see what they think about it. It's my belief that Billy Napier will be fired after his next loss. If Mississippi State wins that game this week in Gainesville, and they could, I think Florida's going to win, but Mississippi State could win. I think Billy Napier's fired Saturday night or Sunday morning. I think he's fired after his next loss. That's my opinion. I think when he gets to 5 losses, they're going to fire him. From afar, what do you think of that whole Napier circumstance?
Well, I think it's just a situation where Florida, has been looking for that right guy since Urban Meyer. There was the good year with Muschamp. With Dan Mullen, there were the 2 or 3 good years, and it really changed with that loss to LSU with the thrown shoe.
Yep.
When you think about where Florida was sitting at that point, And I just look at it, too. And by the way, if Mississippi State did beat them, it'd be like 2004 all over again
All
with
over
Ron
again.
Zook.
That's the game he got fired. You're exactly right.
Yeah, and then it was Georgia the next game, and then it was a question of is Spurrier coming back or are they going to get Urban Meyer? I mean, that'd be like choosing between Elle McPherson and Kathy Ireland back in the 80s there. And Florida obviously got their guy again. I was surprised that he made it this long. And I get it. A lot of it has to do with the AD, and it's your hire and you're doubling down. And from everything I hear, and Kirby and Billy Napier coached together, he seems to be a very likable, good guy. The fact that Florida didn't quit on him last year and they won their last 4 games, I think said a lot about him. But, Frank, as you know, when you're Florida, and I know South Florida is really good, but when you're the University of Florida with those kind of resources and that kind of history and tradition, and you lose in Game 2 to South Florida, you just feel like your season's wrecked out of the gate.
And that's how it felt. I can tell you around here, you could not have assessed it any more accurately. That's how it felt around here. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm right again. I think they're going to win this week. And if they win this week,
I do too.
And I don't think they're going to beat Georgia, so I think it happens that night. But I think, in my opinion, I think it happens on their next loss. So we'll see what happens. Let's get to the game. We've got I want to get right to the games. We got it's a great week in the SEC. Everybody's playing, which is really so. I want to get your thoughts on every game. I'm going to go right down the line here, and I'm going to go down the line in order of when they're played. A lot of times I'll leave the best game for last, but I'm going to go right down the line in order when they played. At high noon, LSU goes to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a favorite in that game, Jeff. They're favored over LSU. What's going to happen in Nashville?
Absolutely stunned. I know Vanderbilt's really good, but that's one of those, if I'm sitting at the window out in Vegas and I'm catching LSU against Vandy, and as you know, when schools like LSU or Georgia or Florida or Tennessee go into Vanderbilt Stadium, they're usually outnumbering the Vanderbilt fans there. I don't see any way LSU doesn't win this game. And with all due respect to Vandy, I think Brian Kelly's a good coach. LSU's obviously a phenomenal job. If they lose this game, and Brian Kelly has been very prickly with their fan base and their media, it will be ugly in Baton Rouge.
All right, I'm going the other way. I think Vanderbilt's going to beat them. So we'll see. We'll look back. I think Vanderbilt's going to beat them. We'll see. Oklahoma at 12:45 plays at South Carolina. Is this one close? What happens here?
I think the Gamecocks should hang around. I think Oklahoma is better. They've just got to figure out what they're doing with their defense. And then it's a question, too, Frankie. We've seen this through the years. Do you let Texas beat you twice?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think Oklahoma's going to win the game, but I think you're exactly right. Arkansas at 3:30, one of the 2 3:30 games. Arkansas at home against Texas A&M. Bob Petrino obviously running things in Fayetteville these days. Do they hang around with A&M here?
Isn't it funny, this game, when it was played at Jerry World, was always one of the 2 or 3 best games of the year, and A&M always won.
Right.
So I figure it'll be about the same. I think A&M beats them by about 3 or 4. And, Frank, I know the Florida fans just saw them. I've watched A&M play. Traditionally, they've been a program that's been big hat, no cattle. I think these guys are really, really, really good this year, though.
And you're right. They've been overrated forever, and they fade at the end. They got a pretty good team this year. I agree with you. All right, best game of the weekend. Really good game. Ole Miss comes to Athens. Georgia just played an emotional game. Lane Kiffin's mad at his fan base because nobody showed up a week ago. Ole Miss in Athens. What happens in this ball game?
I think it's going to be a great game. I was pretty stunned when the odds makers came out with Georgia as a 9-point favorite. That thing's already down to 6 or 7 points. Trinidad Chambliss really concerns me because of his ability to run and throw. And as Kirby said, if you're in a zone against him, he can pick you apart. If you play man, as we all know, and Frank, you see it in the NFL with those QBs who can run, those corners, those backs are turned to the play, and those quarterbacks can take off and get the big gamers. I still think at home, though, Georgia finds a way to eke this thing out by something like 2 points.
Yeah, I think Georgia wins, too. They haven't forgotten last year's game. I think Georgia's better. If you ask me to bet who's going to win the whole thing, boy, I'd have a hard time going against Georgia. We'll see. There's a lot of season left. Florida at home against Mississippi State. We both think the Gators will win. I expect an ugly game because I think Jeff Levy's a pretty good coach, and they play fast, and they play like South Florida and Tennessee and some of those teams that snap it quick and play fast. Somehow, though, Florida's going to win one of a high-scoring shootout of 13-12 is what I think here, Jeff.
it'll be a game along those lines. And I agree with you. I think this Florida defense is really good, and I really like those freshman receivers. And it's just a question of the consistency at quarterback. And obviously they got that against Texas and started fast against A&M, but I still think Florida's got a little too much material. Now, if things aren't going well, we all know what happens, and that crowd can either get nervous or it can turn on you. It can be an advantage for the road team.
I'll tell you what, I wonder, Hayes and I were talking about this on the program, I wonder, Jeff, if it goes bad, how loud the boos are. You know, I mean, the fact that I wonder, I mean, he could get real. I mean, there's 90,000 there, you know, so we'll see.
And Frank, here's the thing too: you never want to boo against your guys. We all know that, and they're still college kids. But here's the other thing too: they're getting paid now.
That's right.
It's a different ball game.
The only I think not great game this week is Texas at Kentucky. I think Texas wins easy. Does Mark Stoops get fired this year? I got to imagine he does, right, Jeff?
Yeah, probably so. He's done such a good job there. I just think it's a situation where they feel like they've probably plateaued. But when you think about the consistency, I mean, the fact that he not only ended the losing streak to Florida, but kind of turned that series for a couple of years. They were able to beat Tennessee. You know, he had 2 10-win seasons there. But I think it's probably time for a fresh start at Kentucky. I agree with you.
If Ole Miss Georgia isn't the best game of the weekend, Tennessee at Alabama is. Another fantastic. What a week in the SEC. What happens in Tuscaloosa, Jeff?
It's hard to pick against Bama there, especially the way Ty Simpson's going. With Tennessee, though, these guys can flat out score. They can move the ball. I like Aguilar a lot. I think he's a terrific fit for what Josh Heupel wants to do, but it's hard to go against the Tide at Bryant-Denny.
I'm taking Tennessee on the road. Maybe I've lost my mind, Jeff. We'll see. You can tell me how dumb I am next week when we do this. I like Tennessee on the road. Final game is Auburn at home against Missouri. Missouri had an emotional game. Now they've got to go on the road to Auburn. What happens on the Plains?
I don't know how much gas Auburn has left in the tank. I don't know how much of it you got to see. I watched the SEC Network show with Roman Harper and Cole Kublinik, which I think is really good. And I get it. If you're an Auburn fan, you thought it was a touchdown. I'm a Georgia fan. I thought it was a touchdown for Georgia. Yeah. They kind of went in between. But the way Hugh Freeze was with his halftime interview, and the guy said it on TV, you can't take that into the locker room. So I just don't know what the mood is on the Plains. You know, if they want to play, it's the us against the world, but there's no way that place is going to have the kind of fire and electricity that it had this past week. So I'll take Missouri on the road.
I'm with you. I think Missouri's going to win on the road too, Jeff. I'm right with you. What a week in the SEC. I can't wait to watch all those games. It's going to be a lot of fun. Jeff Dantzler checks in from the Bulldog Radio Network. Does a great job. Jeff, we appreciate it, buddy. Take care, man.
You're the best, my friend. Can't wait till next week.
All right. Jeff Dantzler talking SEC football. It's always brought to you by our friends at Underwood Jewelers. We've got our NFL Rewind next, so stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through October 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barry Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BarryOrthopedics.com.
Big Chief Tire makes auto care more affordable with 6-month financing through the CFNA credit card. Frank Frangie here. Plus, get $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. Whether you need new tires, brake service, or general repairs, their expert technicians have you covered. With no interest for 6 months, now's the perfect time to take care of your vehicle. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to apply today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about letting things roll off of your back. So often we can make big deals out of things that are not really big deals. We can allow them to steal the joy of our day. But let me remind you that don't allow anyone or anything to steal the joy of today. Go out today not letting little things steal the big things that God has in store for you.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Hi, I'm Amber Frangie. You know that other Frangie? Well, he's my dad. But I'm here to tell you about how much I appreciate the Awaken 180 weight loss program and how it's changed my life. Like a lot of folks, I let myself go a little. Not proud of that, but it happens. And I wasn't sure what to do. I've tried a lot of other weight loss programs, but they just didn't work. Not like Awaken 180. Can you believe I've lost 70 pounds in less than 4 months? With Awaken 180, there's no medication, no shots, and no side effects. And best of all, really fast results. You eat the food that's provided, and it's really good food. You work with a coach on a regular basis who guides you through the whole process. I'm never hungry. In fact, I never feel like I'm sacrificing anything. Just living a totally normal life. That's my new normal. And now, in October, they're offering free consultations. So there's no reason not to call them and learn more. Call them at 844-346-1800, or you can visit awaken180.com. It really has changed my life, and I bet it'll change yours too. That's Awaken 180.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jacks cool since '87.
All right, today we talked about the Jags heading to London, and Ventrell Miller will be the weak side linebacker. No Devin Lloyd. How does that affect the team? And how much will Greg Newsome play? Hayes and I talked about that, talked some Jags football today, and what it would mean for this team to get to 5-2. We talked college football. The Napier situation, I'll say it again, it's my opinion that he will be, there's no inside information, it's just my opinion that he'll be fired after the next loss. Whenever that loss happens, I think they will fire him. We'll see if that happens or not. We also talked about all these coaching openings and who are the best coaches for those. We talked a little FSU, talked a little bit about the NFL, and of course Jeff Dantzler was here to talk SEC football with us, brought to you by Underwood Jewelers, and that's where we have been today. Want to talk some NFL?
Let's do it.
The NFL Rewind, let's go.
Let's go. We are going to kick this thing off in Miami.
Pressure coming again. Herbert in trouble. Herbert keeps it alive. Completes it to McConkey, who stops at a dime. There he goes. McConkey inside the 20. How did Herbert do it? 42 yards.
Justin Herbert continues his strong season, escaping a sack and finding Ladd McConkey for a 42-yard catch and run to set up the game-winning field goal in a 29-27 win over the Dolphins. Playing behind an injury-plagued offensive line, Herbert was 29 of 38 for 264 yards with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions for a passer rating of 112.2. Los Angeles improved to 4-2. While the Dolphins fell to 1-5.
The Dolphins are 1-5. The Chargers are 4-2 and a good team, and it still came down to the end. That's the NFL we're in, isn't it, Hayes? It doesn't matter who's playing. It's coming down to the last minute of the game.
Absolutely, because Miami scored, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, literally with less than a minute left.
It's amazing how that's the world we're in.
And God, Herbert is such a great player. I mean, I don't know if you saw the play, but the guy has him. I mean, he's wrapped up. And with a defensive lineman, and is able to kind of throw him off and immediately finds McConkey. Just a brilliant play, brilliant season so far for Justin Herbert. JJ, take us to Tampa Bay.
but he's not going to have a chance. Oh, yes, he is. He fights through the sack. Looking for first down yard. Oh, my goodness, he's done it again. Oh, that is pure Baker Mayfield. Absolute Baker at his best.
This is one of the best plays that I've seen this season so far. Baker Mayfield making a bold case for MVP consideration, playing without his top 4 receivers late in the game. Mayfield broke off a beautiful 15-yard scramble on 3rd and 14 late in the third quarter, led the Bucs to a 30-19 win over the 49ers. Mayfield was 17 of 23 for 256 yards with 2 touchdowns and no picks for a passer rating of 139. He has carried Tampa Bay to a 5-1 start. The 49ers dropped to 4-2.
And I will tell you, how great is this for the NFL? Not that the NFL needs anything, but if Baker Mayfield continues, wins the MVP, wins the Super Bowl, goes deep, he's Peyton Manning good in the commercials. I mean, he is. I mean, he's got the charisma. You know, he's Tom Brady's the greatest player of all time, but he didn't have Peyton's charisma. Baker Mayfield kind of does. You know, I mean, it's a like you guys said earlier, it's a fun story, a fun team to root for. He's a fun guy to root for. It's a fun developing story in Tampa. It really is.
Without a doubt. And the run was pure guts.
Yeah,
I mean, on 3rd and 14, for him to get 15, he probably made 5 guys miss. You could kind of hear it in Nance's call.
I don't know how he didn't get sacked right away.
Yeah,
who were they playing early in the year when he made the 4th down run? Who was that? Remember that? They all run together.
I don't remember now.
Remember it was a 4th down run,
but I mean, he is just simply willing the Bucs. I mean, with all the injuries, it's incredible. We're on to Arrowhead.
Hollywood Brown in motion. He's got on the pop pass. Hollywood Brown to the end zone. Touchdown, KC.
Here come the Chiefs. Fresh off a disappointing loss to the Jaguars, Patrick Mahomes and company got hot and cruised past the Lions 30-17. Mahomes was 22 of 30 passing for 257 yards with 3 touchdowns and no picks for a passer rating of 132.2. He also ran for 32 yards and a score. The Chiefs have evened their record at 3-3, while the Lions fell to 4-2.
Even at 3-3 and even at 2-3 before the game, man, it's hard for me not to think that the NFL championship goes through Kansas City, Missouri. It's just hard not to. You're going to have to convince me that it doesn't. You really are.
He's incredible. And, really. And now they're getting Rashee Rice back. So Kansas City absolutely could be getting ready to reclaim the mantle as best team. Let's get it to Atlanta.
1st and 5. Robinson off the right side. Breaks free. Bijan Robinson spinning down the sideline. Still going. Can they catch him? They cannot. Touchdown. Falcons 81 yards.
The Falcons stunned the Bills 24-14 behind an incredible effort from running back Bijan Robinson, who had 238 total yards of offense, including 170 on the ground. Of course, you just heard Chris Fowler break down Robinson's 81-yard touchdown. Bills quarterback Josh Allen was picked off twice in this game. Atlanta improved to 3-2, while the Bills have now lost 2 in a row. They are 4-2.
This is a team that was clobbered by Carolina. Boy, the league, Hayes, the league is just on any given Sunday is really the phrase that pays here. I mean, that's the way the league is now. Honestly, it's just anybody can beat anybody. Anybody's going to beat anybody, and every game's going to come down to the end of the game.
Yeah, unless you're the Jets.
Yeah.
And then there's no hope for you, it appears.
Did you see their offensive?
It's minus 10 passing? That's impressive.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it's...
I don't. Has that ever happened?
It had. We were watching it before the Jaguar game in the press box. So D-Rock and Mark Long and I are watching it, and you're seeing just how awful it looks. And so finally, at the end of the game, when we saw the final number, D-Rock looked it up, and it wasn't in the top, 10 worst offensive performances in league history, but it was the worst, I want to say, in 4 years.
I'll bet.
It was brutal for sure. Last night, great Monday Night Football doubleheader as we close in Washington.
3rd down and 1. Ball's on the ground. And it's recovered by Nashawn Wright.
Jaden Daniels can't handle a wet football and drops a handoff with 3 minutes to play as the Commanders were trying to seal the win. The Bears recover the fumble and get a walk-off 38-yard field goal from Jake Moody to stun Washington 25-24. Chicago improved to 3-2 while the Commanders fell to 3-3.
On the road, and even when Washington won the game, I'm telling you, more crazy results than we ever see. Well done as always on the rebound. We'll take a break. Come back to wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Week 7 in the NFL beginning on Thursday night. The Pittsburgh Steelers on the road to face the Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers leading the AFC North at 4-1. The Bengals will go with Joe Flacco at quarterback. The Steelers are a 5.5-point road favorite, -105 against the spread. Bengals getting the 5.5 points, -115. On the money line, Pittsburgh -250. The Bengals +210. The over-under is at 43.5. Another international game in Week 7. The Rams facing Jacksonville in London. The Rams are a 2.5-point favorite. Over-under at Wembley Stadium, 44.5.
Cash back for every bet with a G-Bank Signature Visa card. VSIN.com/GBank.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. We're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, septic tank pump outs, drain field installations, and full air conditioning service, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
Chelsea here. Ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During our fall savings month, get 20% off your replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, or 0 interest for 12 months. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer ends October 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
Playing from behind, the young squad needed a shot in the arm, and it would come at the right time. Trevor Lawrence would lead the squad on a 14-play, 82-yard drive, capped off by a Tim Patrick touchdown, making the score 20-12 with 13 minutes left in regulation. The 7-minute drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville, and now's the time to drive away in luxury.
That's right, Jennifer. The $7,500 tax credit ends this month. It's your last month to take advantage of this incredible opportunity.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They are all in stock and ready to drive today.
See all of our inventory at Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.com or visit us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent you.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
Don't ghost your carpet this fall. Hicken here. Right now, you can get your entire home zero-resified from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus a free haul for Halloween. Get it? There's something scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home. It's in your air ducts. This month, take 15% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
When you roll into a convenience store for some cold Bud Light, you want to make sure it's, well, cold. Check out the big coolers at Circle K. They make sure it's chilled and ready to go for the big game or party. Swing by Circle K and pick up some cold Bud Light.
No more climbing ladders or tree shopping or untangling lights. Nope, Kuhn Flowers will take care of all of this for you this fall when you schedule your holiday home decorating team. This is ET with 1010XL, and now is a good time to call Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all. They'll do it this fall.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now's the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of December, you can join and save $1,500 off their initiation fee plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
That was 33 years ago today.
33 years ago today.
Will you please tell the story?
I was laying in bed with my beautiful wife, watching the Pirates try to close out the Braves. And my wife was 8 3/4 months pregnant, on bed rest, as we laid in bed. And Stan Belinda left one out over the plate. Francisco Cabrera singled to left. David Justice scored from third. About a week and a half later, Sid Bream scored from second. Enter Barry Bonds with a 38 hopper to the plate that stopped in the grass before Mike LaValliere could grab it. The Braves beat the Pirates that day. I grabbed the remote control, went sidearm while laying in bed, and slung it across the room. It shattered. 2 AA batteries. One went to the left. One went flying right at my wife's forehead.
Oh, my God.
At the last minute, like Muhammad Ali, she moved. It hit the back of the headboard. 100% true story. Hit the back of the headboard. My daughter was born 10 days later, which is about the time my wife started speaking to me again. Okay. And the Pirates were really good. I thought they had the best team. But because I acted like that, God decided that the Pirates would have 4 winning seasons in the next 30.
And that was the last year they won a division.
It was
right?
the last year they won a division.
Dang,
and so, but that is a 100% true story. My wife tells it better than I do.
How old's your daughter?
32.
Sheesh.
My daughter is 32. My daughter is so there you go. And my daughter, by the way, will turn 33 in about 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So that's the story, Hayes. That's the story.
Is that the most painful, or is
Lindsey Scott? They're tied. There's
and then there's a gap to number 3.
They're a big gap.
Okay.
I couldn't even tell you what number 3 is.
Okay.
There's been a lot, but they're tied for first. And Lindsey Scott, the Lindsey Scott, I was so distraught after Lindsey Scott when I left my date at the game. I was so
another first.
Yeah, I'll tell that one in a couple of weeks. When I was so distraught that night after leaving my date at the game. We were all in town. All of us it was our senior year, so we all came in town. We partied like crazy Friday night. We partied like crazy before the game. That night they all went out. I stayed in and watched Love Boat. You stayed in and watched Love Boat? Not that Julie wasn't a great cruise director, but if you stay in as a college senior and watch Love Boat at your mom's house, that's how pissed you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 100%. Yeah, that was those two. There's nothing really that compares with those two for me. Of all the disappointing losses, there's nothing that compares with those two. So, all right, we're almost out of time here. We will continue to track this because I do believe this will be the last game he coaches if Billy Napier doesn't win the game. But I will say this, dude. So the Drinkwitz thing, because he could wind up being him. We'll see. Have you read about his? Did you know he? And I may be the only guy that didn't know this. He's a Malzahn guy. Did you know all this?
I did not.
He grew. He was at Springdale, the same high school, and he's Malzahn's guy. He's Malzahn's like boy, and so they were at Springdale High School in Arkansas together, and went to Arkansas together, and then he was a disciple of Malzahn until he got I forget where he was right before that, until he got the App State job. And then he was at App State for like a year or two.
Right.
And then got the Missouri job. So I didn't realize he was all Malzahn. I don't know how I missed that. Because usually those offensive play fast guys, like Jeff Lebby at Mississippi State's one of them. And, Cade Bell's playing like that. They all kind of are the same. I never remembered Missouri playing like that. Maybe they did. I just haven't. Did you realize that?
No, I don't pay attention to Missouri. So
Yeah.
I honestly don't.
That's a great point.
I need to brush up once this is official and he is fired, which again we believe could be in a matter of days. Then obviously I'll go elbows deep on all these guys.
Correct.
But honestly, like, one of my problems, and I will give Drinkwitz credit because I did watch some of the Missouri-Alabama game, and he had Missouri ready to play, and they easily could have beaten Alabama. So obviously he's a good coach.
Right.
I don't debate that. My worry with Missouri is no one gets up to play Missouri. So they sneak up on everyone because no one in the SEC bases anything. No one circles the Missouri game.
Right.
And when you get to Florida, everyone circles the Florida game. And so that's my worry about some of this with Drinkwitz is his record is certainly impressive at Missouri, and obviously he's a talented coach. He'd be obviously a massive upgrade over what they have now in Billy Napier. But that's a little bit of my concern is I just don't think I don't think Missouri has ever seen anybody's A game. And that is a concern for me. But look, he's obviously going to be in the mix, and he should be in the mix. Again, he has done a good job at Missouri.
Yeah.
But I have not paid much attention to Drinkwitz or Missouri because to me they're a Big 12 team that somehow plays in the SEC.
My fear, I thought Graham Mertz doesn't get hurt. Billy Napier beats him on the road 2 years ago. You know that's the so, but we'll see. We'll see who again. We'll see what winds up happening. We're a long way from the end of the season. We're not a long way again from Billy Napier getting fired. Again, the interesting thing will be if they win the game. Again, if they lose to Mississippi State at home, and he's the coach on Monday, I will be shocked. And I'll come in here Monday and I'll say,
I think Billy Napier will be shocked.
Yeah, I think I'd be shocked if he's the coach. If they lose to Mississippi State and he's the coach, I would be shocked.
Shame on Florida.
Yeah.
If they allow that to happen. If he goes and gets behind a podium on Monday to meet with reporters at 2-5, having just lost the homecoming game to Mississippi State, then at that point, I don't even blame Napier at that point. Now it's Florida's entire administration. What are you doing putting him out there? So we'll see.
Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick, I believe if Mississippi State beats them Saturday, he will be fired that night or the next – I'm serious about this. The next day.
A lot of people do, yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I mean, you're what, a 10-point favorite at home?
Something like that, yeah.
It's a game that you have to win.
And you're 2-5 if you lose, and you just lost homecoming to Missouri.
It makes sense with the bye coming.
State, right.
You know, that's the time to do it. So
all right. So
we'll see.
Are you rocking a Rod Stewart T-shirt?
I am the boss.
That is awesome.
Yes. I think
love that T-shirt.
It's going to be
love Rod Stewart.
It's going to be concert shirt week.
That's awesome.
I've already got them laid out. Tomorrow I'm going with a combination of Deep Purple and Judas Priest. So you see down here at the bottom is Cheap Trick. You guys don't know this. Cheap Trick opens for every band across America. They play 340 nights a year. Okay, Cheap Trick. So Rod's come in here twice, or I think he comes in yearly. I've seen him twice the last 3 years.
Yeah, he was just here like a month ago, right?
It's like a Vegas show. I mean, these showgirls that he's got up there, they play all sorts of different instruments and incredibly talented. I mean, his voice isn't what it once was, so he has a lot of backup singers and stuff. But they come to Daly's place yearly. It's always a lot of fun.
I haven't seen it. I've always said I always want to see the great bands do their anthem one time. Yeah. You know, I've never seen Bon Jovi sing "Living on a Prayer," and I've never seen Rod Stewart sing "Maggie May." If there's one thing, even if I showed up just for that,
there you go.
Where does he have Maggie May in the set usually?
Does
it bounce around?
I was under several substances and very inebriated. Yeah. I know he played it, but I don't remember. No probably the middle of the show.
But he also has had he's also a different incarnate. He's had different lives.
Yeah,
you know, Rod Stewart's had a bunch of lives. Mm-hmm. You know, he's had the Showman live, and he did the classics on. You know, so he's had a bunch.
I tell you, 3 years ago, you know, remember the late Robert Palmer when he did those videos with the girls?
Absolutely.
That's what he came out with.
That's what Rod. Yeah, he's had all these
that was 3 years ago. So I remember that over at Daly's.
What's coming up tonight? Rod Stewart?
Rod Stewart tonight. Mark Duffner Sitting next to him in the press box. Going to talk to him about the very latest involved with the Jags. And we're going to get into a little bit of college football tonight. Niall Lawrence Stample is going to roll on in. My Florida State knows. Best name of all time. By the way. I mean, it just sounds like a
Hall of
football
Fame
player.
name.
So we'll uncover the very latest as to what's going on there as well. It's all coming up beginning right now.
Right. McCullough goes into the night. That does come up right now. That'll do it for our program. Tomorrow, my last time this week, will be in studio tomorrow, and then I'll give it to Hayes and Hacker for the rest of the week. I'll be heading across the pond, as it were. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.